welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And we just got a shipment just from the US Mint of the new Kennedy half dollars. And I have a stack of them here. And here is, let's just kind of go through these. That's a D from the Denver Mint. If we expand it, we see. Now, when you buy the Kennedy halves from the Mint, there's a couple different ways you can get them. You can get them in rolls of 20 Ds and 20 Ps, or you can get them in a bag of 200 with 100 Ds and 100 Ps. The problem is that these are circulating style ones, so they don't do anything special with them. So you see this came straight out of the bag. It has a real nice, it's clearly uncirculated, but it has scratches all over it. And that's part of, I don't know if that's part of the joy of these, but you see these scratches. This is how you get them. So if you want something that's not scratched at all, don't order the Kennedy halves unless you order them proof, because if you order these, you're going to get scratches on them. And here's the back, and geez, the back often doesn't have any scratches on it. It's funny, Kennedy's face just seems to get the most of them, but let's kind of go through them. So that was a Denver Mint. Here's a Philadelphia Mint here, and look at those scratches on the neck here. Down there, that's not a scratch. That's Gilroy Roberts' signature or initials. He was the designer of the front of this coin. That's a P. Here's another D. Here, right there, sometimes you see this, you get a little bit like a watermark or whatever the fluid chemical they use to kind of produce these. That sometimes comes when you first get them out of the bag. But look at the color. Look at the hair. Look how the R goes up there. These are just really nice coins. And of course, the back here is a Frank Gasparo design. And it's the eagle holding the olive branch and the arrows with the U.S. shield across it. We have the beads up here, and then the 13 stars, E pluribus unum, some stars down here. So if we go here, as you say, there's not 13. Well, there's 3, 6, 9 here, and there's 4 here. So there are actually 13. These, actually, you have to order them from the U.S. Mint. So if you're going to look for these, you have to order them from the U.S. Mint. So you go to the U.S. Mint. I think it's called usmint.gov is your online site, and they charge you a premium for them. If you buy them in rolls of 2 rolls of 20 Ps and 20 Ds, they cost you $34. So they cost you about $1.75 each in bulk. If you buy them in a bag of 200, they cost $147, which means you spend about 75 cents each for them. Now, this coin has been out since 1964. It first came out the year after the death of President Kennedy, and at that point in time, it was 90% silver. And here's another Philadelphia here. See with just these little scratches. This right here is just the coins roll over each other, and you get this little bit. It's enough to keep it from being an MS-67, but this coin might be an MS-65, except that it's kind of hard to rate them because they've never circulated, and these coins are all going to be similar to this, though maybe a little more scratch. There's a huge scratch on the neck. In 1965, the Kennedy half went to 40% silver and stayed at 40% silver until 1970. So this is, of course, the current one, and this current makeup of the Kennedy half is, let me get it, it's copper nickel clad copper. So if you turn it up on its side, you can see the copper, the brown sticking through. This has been essentially in existence since 1971, with the exception of 1976 when they did a special bicentennial version. So let's see, I found a couple really nice ones. So let's look at those, the 2 of those, and then we'll just kind of call it quits. But I just wanted everybody to see these since they're so nice looking, and they just came in the door today. And I said, I'm just going to get right on and show you every year. So it's Kennedy, President Kennedy. He's facing to the left. It says Liberty above his head. And you see on these halves, the B, E, and R all get a little bit into his hair. And this is the modern haircut one. They did change the hairstyle on him to give him more of a full head of hair. Down underneath his chin it says "In God." Behind him it says "We Trust," and then right here it says "GR" for Gilroy Robertson. Way down here you see a D for the Denver Mint. Then of course it's 2020. Tip it up and it's a reeded rim, which means it has these lines in it. And then if you tip it over again, you have that eagle on the back. One of the things you can see on these ones really well is the detail, and see the eye of the eagle and kind of how the beak comes down, how it's holding the ribbon from the E pluribus unum in its beak. And then we get down here, you can see these are the scratches that come from it being um, in the bag. And then look way over here. See right there? That's how we know who designed this coin. And that's Frank Gasparo's FG right there. If you look closely, um, you can you don't see it so much, but if you go way down in there, you can see that FG for Frank Gasparo. And so that was the Denver Mint. Yeah, you kind of have to buy them in bulk unless you want to spend a lot for them. You can get them for $4 or $5 if you buy them individually, like on eBay or something. But if you buy them from the U.S. Mint, you buy the $10 rolls, or else you buy the proof editions. And here's a P here for Philly. And if we look way down in there, this is one of those ones that happens sometimes where you actually see a little bit of an indentation here where it was struck by the P, and sometimes it's a little bit of a valley down there. That doesn't make it worth anymore, but it's kind of interesting to see. And this you'll never see in a regular circulated coin. Look how fine the "In God We Trust" is, and look at that kind of the N, how it kind of comes down a little bit, and how the G kind of goes there, and then the "We Trust." This is just when you get these, you're just amazed at what the Kennedy half really looks like. And then you get to his hair, and you kind of see how he has all the little hair, his eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, the mouth, little cleft in the chin, and how. And this is from the another coin rubbing against it, and then his ears. So buy these if you can. They're relatively expensive to buy individually. If you're going to buy them in a bulk, I don't know what you're going to do with them. Once in a while, you'll see people just put them right back into circulation, or they give them away in contests, or they save them for people for souvenirs. And because if you're going to buy 200, you're going to find that probably not more than 30 or 40 of them are going to be really high quality. If you're going to buy 40 of them, you might find only 10 to 15 of the 40 are high quality. So one of the things that we suggest you do sometimes is buy them in a group, get a bunch of you together and just go through and just split up the good ones and the bad ones. And that's one way to do it. All right, there's our Kennedy half from 2020, the first appearance we've had of the Kennedy Denver Mint and the Kennedy Philadelphia Mint of the 2020 half. Again, one last time, they in 2002 they decided that the Kennedy halves they just weren't being used enough and circulated enough, so they went, and since then they've only sold them in essentially mint versions of them. So that's what we have here. Have a great day from DC Coin Roll International.